Peter here. Like I said, my last email that I sent, taking a long road trip today. Well, not that long, a couple hours. So I like to use my time in the car when I go on long trips like this. I like to use it and turn it into some type of productive time. And I figure I would make a video answering your most pressing questions that you may have for me. So let's pretend that you're in the passenger seat right now and we're having a conversation. And GPS is coming on, so sorry about that. Let's pretend you're in the passenger seat, and basically I'm going to go through the questions that I've got from you, while obviously keeping my eyes on the road. I'm not going to be driving and looking down, obviously. I'll be answering the questions that I got via email and on Facebook. I've got a bunch of them, probably a couple hundred, so it's impossible for me to answer all of them, but I'll try to answer the best ones right here in this video. And I can always make another video in the future like this. So let's go ahead and get started. So the next question comes from Ann Core, and she asks a number of questions, but I'm going to try to answer just one of them. I'll answer the others in another video, I think. But anyways, one of her questions was, how do you take videos? I assume she's talking about from your iPhone or with a handheld. How do you take videos and make sure they aren't shaky? Like, how do you take footage and make sure that it comes out looking steady? So if you're doing like a selfie video with an iPhone or something like that, there's a little trick. Obviously if you're holding the phone out like this and you're talking into the camera, or if you're holding it like this, filming a subject, it's going to look a little shaky. Now the iPhones do have a feature built into them that kind of minimize that shakiness naturally, but there's a little trick that you can do. If you hold the camera like this and you put your other hand, I'm going to take my wheel off or take my hand off the steering wheel for a second here, so sorry Peter Rendell. You hold it like this and it kind of steadies your arm, okay, and it makes the footage a lot less shakier. So that's the answer to that, Ann. The next question is from Ryan Drashenberg, okay, and he asks, what is the best way to stay focused and see projects through to completion? Or how do you accomplish it with all the other different projects going on at the same time? So he's basically asking, how do I stay focused and see projects through to the end? And how do I juggle so many projects at once? Great question, Ryan. Well, it really is a constant struggle. I mean, I find myself on a day-to-day basis constantly trying to juggle so many projects at once. I don't really struggle with seeing the project through to the end because I have no choice. If I don't see a project through to the end, then, well, I don't make money that month, and my business could start going down, right? So I kind of have a big reason why I see projects through to the end. If I don't see them through to the end, well, I'm screwed. I don't make money. So if you're not staying dedicated to your projects, whatever they may be, maybe the reason why isn't big enough. Maybe there's not enough pain waiting for you on the other side if you don't finish those projects, okay? So what you can do is kind of come up with your reason why. Well, why do I need to see this project through to the end? Is it so that I can increase my income, grow my business? Is it so that I can replace my day job income and start my own business finally? Start thinking about those types of things, and then start thinking about, well, what will happen if I don't see this project through to the end? Well, I could stop making money and I won't be able to pay my bills and I will go homeless. I gotta tell you something. This is kind of a little something that only Emily has ever heard me say. I've never really shared this with anyone else, but every single day of my life, I wake up with a constant fear of going broke. Every day I am terrified of the possibility or the thought of my business not generating income and me not being able to pay my bills. It worries me so much that, I had my most profitable year ever this year, and, have a bunch of savings in the bank, make, more money than I ever expected I would make 5 years ago, yet I still grind my teeth when I'm sleeping because I'm constantly stressed out if I don't get a video done in time, or if I don't, get an email out in time or something like that. Because I'm always constantly juggling so many projects. I'm always kind of behind on everything. And that's just kind of a natural thing for an entrepreneur. You're always juggling so many different things. So back to your first part of your question, how do you see projects through to the end? Well, realize what's waiting for you on the other side if you don't get them done on time. For me, I won't make money, and I have that constant fear of, hey, you could be broke again someday if you don't keep working your ass off. So come up with that reason why and ingrain that in your head, okay? Now, how do I juggle so many projects at once? Well, like I said, it's a constant struggle. There's no magic answer there. You just kind of have to, I like to start my day off the same way every day. I write down all the things that I need to get done for today, and then I estimate how much time they're going to take me, and then I focus on those tasks one at a time. Now, there is never a case where a task takes the amount of time that I expected it to take. It always ends up taking much longer. And I almost always never get everything done in a day that I want to get done. But I know what I need to get done, and if I don't finish it that day, well, I'll continue the next day, okay? So it's really just a balancing act. Sorry I don't have a magic pill answer for that, but the biggest thing I want you to take away is come up with your reason why. That's going to help you stay focused. So Jay Fair has a nice question. What is the best way to get traffic? Not the kind of traffic that you're going to see on your trip today, but internet traffic. Well, great question, Jay. The best, I have two favorite forms of traffic right now, and it's going to totally depend on what your business model is. Do you sell digital products online, software, info products, or do you serve an offline market, like offline clients? If you serve an online market like me, well, my two favorite forms of traffic are Facebook ads. Absolutely, you can target your perfect customer and reach them for extremely cheap. There's nothing out there that beats Facebook ads right now. Okay? Like whenever I release a new product, I upload my customer list from Aweber into Facebook ads as a custom audience, so I can also be running ads to my customers and my affiliates, reminding them of the promotion that I'm doing. It's so powerful. My next favorite form of traffic is JV traffic. Now, it's not as reliable as Facebook ads or paid traffic because you're kind of depending on a JV or an affiliate to mail for you when they say they're going to. For example, whenever I release a product, I do run some Facebook ads, and I do email my email list. Okay, so those are two forms of traffic right there. But the third part of traffic, or the third resource for traffic, is JV traffic. And just a second here, I'm going through a toll. I just want to make sure that I go through okay. Back to what I was saying. Whenever I launch a new product, which is basically how I make 75% of my income right now is launching new products. Whenever I launch a new product, I run some Facebook ads to retarget my existing customers, okay, and I do target some other audiences that aren't a part of my email list yet, based on interests. I target my own email list. I upload it as a custom audience, and the third part is JV traffic. This is where I have other affiliates email their customer lists, sending them to my sales page, okay? That's probably one of the best converting forms of traffic is JV traffic. If you get a big affiliate to mail for you, for whatever it is that you're selling, it's going to convert much higher than cold traffic. It's going to convert much higher than paid traffic. But the problem is it's not as reliable. You kind of have to depend on that person saying, yeah, Peter, I'm going to mail for your product next Wednesday. And then if they, something happens, they get sick, or they don't feel like, writing the email or whatever, they don't mail. So it's not as reliable. You're dealing with people of hard to answer that question because I don't know what your business model is, but if you're selling online like me, there's nothing better than Facebook ads right now. And start building your own email list, build a relationship with them. That's probably going to be your best form of traffic right there. And then if you're selling online, try to get JV and affiliates to mail for you. So Steve Ramsey has probably one of the best questions out of all of them that were submitted. What were you to do if you were, what would you do, what were you to do to generate income quickly if you were starting over and had to put food on the table for your family, okay? And he also referenced in his email that he is in, like most people that get into internet marketing, he's stuck in the getting started phase. He hasn't really done anything. He basically is stuck in learning mode, I guess, buying new products and trying to basically get started, and he's not really sure how to get started. He's having trouble staying focused. So what would I do if I were to start over and had to put food on the table? Well, Steve, when I started, I was broke, okay? Don't be mistaken. I was broke. I had a nice, okay day job. I made like $30,000 to $35,000 per year. I made like 17 bucks an hour at the time when I quit, okay? I made just enough to pay my bills and live modestly. I lived in a 2-bedroom ranch in a very rural town in Maine. My mortgage was around $1,000 per month, and my truck payment was around $230 per month. I drove a 1999 Dodge Dakota. So I lived very modestly. I did not have much money left over at the end of the week to save any money, okay? And so I kind of know where you're coming from, and I actually had to quit that job. I came into work one day. Well, let me rewind a little bit. I don't mean to tell you a sob story, but I was working at this day job in 2009, making around $30,000 to $35,000 per year, and I was splitting all the bills with my girlfriend at the time. We were together for a long time, and we were splitting bills together, and one day I woke up, she was gone. She left. I had to quickly figure out a way to pay all the bills by myself because she was gone. She found another guy, she was gone. So I took a couple of days off from work and cried a little bit and felt bad for myself. But then I went back to work about 3 to 4 days later, and my boss told me that while I was gone, he had to lay off a bunch of my fellow co-workers because we didn't have much work. I worked at an architecture company at the time, and this was around 2009, and people had stopped building new buildings because of the economy. So he just had to lay people off. He had some good news. He wasn't going to lay me off, but he had to cut my hours back from 40 to 32. So I was working 4 days per week on an hourly wage. So in effect, my salary was slashed by 20%. Now, keep in mind, my girlfriend just left a few days earlier. Her income was gone. She wasn't paying anymore. And then now 20% of my income is gone. There was no way. It was impossible for me to be able to afford to pay my bills moving forward. So at that point in my life, I had been dabbling with internet marketing, buying products, probably like you, and never really did anything with the knowledge that I had acquired or the tools that I had bought. But at this point, I kind of had no other choice. I was like, all right, I know a bunch about internet marketing and selling websites to local businesses, so I'm going to quit this job and start my own business. I'm going to start designing websites for local businesses. I quit that job. It was very, very tough in the beginning. I had a little bit of money in my savings account, but I blew through that money extremely fast. There were times when I only had a couple $100 in my bank account and my $1,000 mortgage payment was due a week later. I was stressing out. Now, I did not have a big family. It was just me and my new girlfriend and her kid. So I did have to pay the bills. I did have to make sure that the bills were paid. The lights would stay on. I had to, buy food and things like that. So I know where you're coming from. And at that point in my life, I had no other choice. I had to make this work or I would become homeless. question. I can't remember who asked it. But at that point, my reason why, I had to succeed because I had no other choice. So if you are moving in circles, not going anywhere, I'm going to guess, okay? I'm going to go out on a limb and guess that you either still have a day job that you don't like, but you're still making an income to pay your bills and have your most basic necessities met. I bet if you were fired today and you had no income, I bet you could take the knowledge you already know and put it to work if you were forced to, okay? So you don't have to quit your job. You don't have to be fired to do that, though. Just come up with that reason why. Realize that you're not going to have that job forever. As much as you'd like to think that you will, you know, your job is not secure. You could be fired tomorrow and your income could be taken away from you. So keep that in mind and use that to fuel your fire, basically. Wake up every day with a goal that, hey, I have to make this amount of money to replace my day job income, and I need to make it by this amount of time. I'm not going to buy any more products. I already know what I need to know to make this happen, so I'm going to get it done. That's all you have to do. There's really no other magic pill. If you've been studying internet marketing for more than a couple months, 3 to 6 months, you most likely know everything that you need to know to make a full-time income with this. The ball is just in your court to take that knowledge and do something with it. So that's what I would do. Come up with that reason why. If you don't have a dire situation like I did, well, kind of manufacture one, okay? So that's my answer to that. Hopefully that helped you out, Steven. And the last question, this video is getting pretty long and I want to focus on the road ahead here, so I'm gonna answer one more question and then we'll do some more videos like this in the future. But the last question, and I can't remember who asked it, I'm not gonna look on my phone because I'm traveling at 80 miles per hour down the highway here. But somebody asked me this question: what were you to do if you were forced to start over from scratch and you had no customer list, no contacts, nothing? All you had was the knowledge that you have now. Well, here's exactly what I would do. Knowing what has worked in my business so far, I would basically do what works and only that. I would, and the thing that works best for me is creating my own products, coming up with solutions to other people's problems in the form of digital products like software, training courses, coaching programs. And I would create, what I would do, I would starting from scratch, I would pick the niche that I'm in. It happens to be, I don't know, let's say it's internet marketing, okay, or video marketing. I would come into the video marketing niche and I would say, okay, what are the biggest 3 problems that people are struggling with on a day-to-day basis in the video marketing niche? What are people complaining about in the forums? What are people complaining about on Facebook, on YouTube, right? What are people complaining about? And I would make a list and I would tally up and come up with the 3 biggest problems that most people are having in this niche. I would make a product to solve each of those problems. One of those products I would just give away for free. I would orchestrate a product launch, right, and give 100% commissions on that product launch. So affiliates could promote it and make 100% of the money. I would not make anything. But what I would get in exchange is a customer list overnight. Okay, so I would do that product launch. I would reach out to a bunch of affiliates, say, hey, I got this awesome product. And I don't mean just a mediocre product. I would make an awesome, badass product that just impresses people, that people would expect to pay several hundred or even several $1,000s for. And I would give it away for free. And I would get affiliates to promote that launch and for 100%. And they would be more likely to promote it because it's an amazing product and they get to keep all of the money. The only thing I get is the customer list. After that launch, I would take a good month or so and create some awesome free content for those new subscribers. videos like this, build relationships with them, let them know my story, my personal struggles, build a personal relationship with those new subscribers that I have, get them to know, like, and trust me. And then all I would have to do at that point, I have gold. I have gold at that point. I would survey them and say, hey, what are some other problems that you struggle with on a day-to-day basis? I would survey them. I would ask them. I would read their comments on my blog. I would read their comments on my Facebook, whatever. And I would make more products to solve their other problems. And then I would start launching new products to them, bringing on affiliates, and instead of paying them 100%, I could pay them 50%. So now I can start making money. And basically, I would just keep rinsing and repeating that. And that's basically all I've done over the past 6 years. I gave a product for free away on the Warrior Forum, paid $40 for advertising. People got on my email list. I built a relationship with them. And then I started launching my own products. And in between product launches, I made sure to deliver awesome content, build relationships with my new customers, and just keep developing new products that solve new problems. It's really that simple. Find out what people's problems are and create products that solve them. The biggest problem that people struggle with is finding targeted traffic, okay? The easiest way to get traffic quickly, overnight, highly targeted, high converting traffic is affiliate traffic. So, do a 100% commission-based product launch. Get, even just a couple good affiliates on board to promote it. They make some good money promoting it. You get a nice customer list, and they're more likely to promote your next product because they know how high quality your products are, and they made a bunch of money on your last product. So that's exactly what I would do. I'd do the same exact thing I did before, just a little bit better because I know more now. So I'm going to get back to driving. I've still got about an hour of driving ahead of me here. I'm going to focus on the road. I'm going to shut off the GoPro, and I'll make more videos like this in the future. Sorry the audio wasn't as great as if I had a mic to plug into the camera. I needed a special adapter to plug my microphone into my GoPro. I don't have it. I lost it. So hopefully you can hear my voice okay over the sound of the engine here. So thanks for watching this video. I'll do more like it in the future. Have a great day, and I'll talk to you very soon. This is Peter, with VideoRevolver.com.